certainly after a couple of hours of questions and your memory being refreshed, you certainly are aware that Mr. Schaffel was undertaking projects with your consent. My question is, did you, at the time he was undertaking these projects, have some expectation that at some point in time you would be compensating Mr. Schaffel for his work?
Well, I knew he wanted something, probably. I mean, of course.
I'm not asking what he wanted. I'm asking if you, Michael Jackson, at the time thought, well, I'm going to have to compensate this guy at some point for his services.
I do remember him at times with these long letters of what he should be paid or something like that, wanting me to sign things. But I can't tell you in detail, no.
My question is not what he did. Now, my question is what you were thinking as you were aware that Mark Schaffel was doing these projects for you. Did you have an awareness that at some point in time you were going to have to compensate him for undertaking these projects?
Sure, even though you didn't talk about it.
So sure, you understood that at the time he was doing these projects, you knew eventually you were going to have to pay him a fair fee for what he was doing.
If it was fair, yes.
Did you ever pay him a fee for anything he did?
I don't know. I'm sure he got money.
You are sure he got? Why are you sure he got money?
Because he seemed to be always happy.
Money doesn't buy happiness.
Well, he was smiling a lot.
How would you get cash in 2003?
Easily. If I needed it, I never wanted to go through the accountants. I would just simply get it at Neverland.
How would you do that?
The leasing of the cows on the estate.
I'm talking greenback folding money.
Yeah, greenback folding money.
You do that by leasing the cows?
Yeah, well, we have cows on the property that belong to other ranchers, and we give them the space.
Okay.
Because I don't like asking for it.
And they pay you in cash?
They don't pay me personally.
I'm sorry, they pay someone on your behalf in cash?
Yes.
Okay. So all your cash, whenever you need cash to shop or wherever, comes from the cows?
Yeah, believe it or not.
I know. But that's okay. I don't have to.
So I'm telling you.
Okay. So Alan Whitman's office never arranged for you to get cash, correct?
Not that I can recall, because I don't remember talking to Alan.
Well,
I think I never met him.
Well, here's this. This might key your memory. Did he deliver the money in an Arby's bag?
Could have been too, yeah.
Yeah, the money smelled like French fries?
It didn't smell like French fries, no.
But after that event, when you called Mark for money, would you, instead of asking him for money, would you ask him for French fries?
I think that was the term that was used, but I don't remember being over 100,000. I don't.
We'll get to that. But so after the time he delivered money to you in an Arby's bag, there were subsequent occasions when you called him and asked for French fries, correct? Instead of
I don't know if
asking
he
for money.
made up that expression or I did. I don't know. I really don't know.
Right.
But I do remember it.
Right. I don't care who made it up. I just want to confirm that after the first time he brought you cash in an Arby's bag, you would ask him to bring you cash, but you would ask for French fries instead of cash.
I don't know that.
Well, you just said that you remember that, but you don't remember.
I remember at one time he brought in an Arby's, but it wasn't like a habitual thing.
Okay. Do you remember it ever happening after that one time where you called him and asked for French fries instead of asking him for cash?
Could have been. It could have been.
And do you remember sometimes asking him to supersize those fries?
I don't remember that.
Good morning, Mr. Jackson.
Good morning.
We've met before in London, so I won't go through the rules for a deposition because I know you've heard those before. I would ask you, I would remind you we're following up on your deposition of September 23rd, 2005, before trial in this action. If you remember, you were deposed on September 23rd, 2005 by me?
Yes.
Have you had the opportunity to review the transcript of your testimony in that deposition?
No.
The first thing I'm going to do, Mr. Jackson, is I let the record reflect I'm going to hand you a subpoena requiring your attendance at trial next month in Los Angeles.
Okay, just for the record, Mickael, just so you know, that subpoena is ineffective.
Okay, I know.
That doesn't mean a thing. That's just Briggs trying to intimidate you and throw you off. It's the sort of thing he does. You can take this. Care of it.
Let the record reflect that Mr. Mickael has torn up the trial subpoena.
That's right.
Where is your place of residence?
That is now Bahrain.
Did you direct somebody to make sure that since you were disassociating from Mark Schaffel and you wanted to do it in a kind and humane manner that somebody make sure that Mr. Schaffel was reimbursed for whatever expenses he had laid out on the song, What More Can I Give?
At the time, I remember juggling probably 200 different compositions in my head, writing them, working on in the middle of an album, also visualizing short films for each song, and something like this to just be my main focus of attention, I can't imagine, no.
Did you ever have a cash flow problem in 2003 where you wanted to spend money on something or you needed to spend money on something and didn't have it?
I'd be guessing, I don't know, 2000, I don't know.
Have you ever had a cash flow problem in your adult life?
I've heard of cash flow problems, but I'm not sure if it was accurate or not.
You learned at some point in time about Mr. Schaffel's background in what you call gay pornography.
It's not what I call it, that's what it was.
It was gay pornography?
Yes, that I was shown the videotape by the lawyer, and I was shocked when I saw. Because I didn't want to believe it when he told me. And he said, well, you have to see this. I was surprised that he was in that business, which he never told me. And it was something that is not appropriate, for what I was projecting with my work. So it just didn't match.
What is it that you saw that shocked you?
Mark directing this film and what he did in the film. What I saw on the screen, I didn't believe it, so.
What did you see on the screen that you didn't believe?
He was directing two guys. They were completely naked from head to toe, and he was directing, telling one what to do with the other, and he grabbed their penis or something.
And it shocked you?
Well, because I was surprised that he was in that business, which he never told me, and it was something that is not appropriate, for what I was projecting with my work. So it just didn't match. It's like, you know that.
Which part of it was not appropriate?
You know that. Well, it just wasn't appropriate. I don't think mothers who are watching this sort of thing or know about this relationship, knowing that we're going to do, knowing what my agenda is coming up, or what material I have coming forth to the world, what songs, what film ideas, the two won't go together. That's what it was. And myself. So
you use the word pornography. What do you mean by the word pornography?
What do I mean by it?
Right.
That's what it was. At first on the screen, they were doing one thing, and when he came in, he was like directing the whole thing. That's pornography, I think.
So you're actually not trying to make a legal definition of pornography. You're just saying that you saw naked men holding each other's penises, and that bothered you.
Well, I'm just telling you what I saw. I'm just telling you what I saw.
Right, you said you were shocked. I'm trying to figure out what shocked.
Well, I was shocked because he didn't tell me.
Had you ever asked him what he did in the past?
No, I would think he would tell me. Don't try to make a mess of this. Come on.
You sued him, Mr. Jackson.
Come on.
So, you never asked Mr. Schaffel what he did before he met you for a living, right? That's your testimony?
He pretty much hid it. I think he didn't tell, he didn't say any of that.
I just asked you if you ever asked him.
I would have asked him. I could have, but he didn't say.
Do you remember asking him what he used to do for a living?
He used to talk about stories about his life, but he never talked about that.
Back to what shocked you in this film. Did it shock you that it was a gay-themed show?
No. We're talking that he was involved in that whole circle, and I didn't know. It's like you thinking that you know one person and there's another something, another character there. I didn't know. I had no idea, as it was something that he was involved with.